What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. Yes, this video was promised about 6 months ago in my Chelsea video. So here we are on the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to you Americans. Well, in about, I don't know, 40 minutes, it won't be the 4th of July, but the 5th. But anyway, without further ado, this video was promised about 6 months ago, like I've just said. Me basically going into detail on why I personally think football is dusted as a whole. I'll be going through different social media platforms and going into great detail on why I think football is dusted. This will go across like Twitter accounts, YouTube channels, the fans, the media, all different stuff like that, all combined into this video. So we are taking no prisoners whatsoever, and we're just going to be going just to see what happens. If I say anything that can be classed as controversial, then cry about it. I'm not the one. I'm going to be sleeping well tonight, so it's not going to bother me whatsoever. So if you do enjoy this video, do be sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below. Do be sure to like this video if you do enjoy. The likes kind of determine kind of how many of you did enjoy this video. So you might be able to take this bit of info in and actually agree with me. Comment as well if you do agree or disagree. It's just words on a screen, really. Just comment what you really think of this video. That's why the comment section is basically just kind of for feedback. So do give me some feedback for this video, and also what kind of videos you want to see in the near future. I know I've not uploaded in 6 months, and that is absolutely appalling from me, but yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. So where do we start with this video? Let's start off with YouTube accounts. So as some of you may know, or obviously you may know if you have been on YouTube, that most you know, football teams have big YouTube channels. United Stand, for example, there's that MK Dons one that's famously got that intro from the what was it, Brighton game, Brighton versus MK Dons, if I'm not mistaken. AFTV, obviously I mentioned United Stand, some Chelsea channels, some West Ham, Liverpool, all different teams, you know, have many YouTube fan accounts channels. But I'm going to be going into two specific ones in detail. So these two are known as United Stand and Arsenal Fan TV. Both channels run by absolute wrong, exposing them for their antics, exposing them for what they really are. Some of you may watch them. You know, if you watch AFTV and United Stand on the regular basis, then I'd recommend going to a mental asylum, getting yourself locked up or checked out for something, because you're obviously not right in their heads. But anyway, so where do we start? Let's start off with AFTV. So AFTV is run by Robbie Lyle. If you don't know, his real name is Robin, so that's a fact. So he did so they have fallen off massively. So they've done the this was months ago, the Man City versus Tottenham watch along, where they were supporting, you know, sucking off their local rivals because they obviously wanted to win the league. Which obviously there was the repercussions for if they won the league and stuff like that. About not even 5 minutes into the watch along they did. So he says, I'll play this clip now.
It's a bit shameless tonight, but listen, there's a lot of significance for this game. So we had to do a watch along to it. And get your comments in, get your super chats in. You know what?
We had to do a watch along, did you? You had to do a watch along. If you had to do a watch along, why didn't you do it on your Don Robbie channel? Why did you have to do it on your AFTV channel? Because it'd get more traction, it'd get more views, because it's, you know, if Spurs win, you know, that gives Arsenal the league pretty much. But you don't do it on your Don Robbie channel, but you do it on your AFTV one because you get more traction. So why not? And also, I'd like to get at this comment. Get your super chats in, guys. He's literally asking. Within the first few minutes of the watch along, by the way, they did it was either a hate along or a pray along or a hope along, whatever it was. It wasn't actually called a watch along. He's literally asking for his obviously it's young kids. Is there either young or disabled that watch the channel to get their super chats in, preaching on the vulnerable for their money? Do you know why? Because they have to pay their staff, and he struggles to pay the staff. So yeah, their channel is massively declining, and this downfall is absolutely beautiful. If you look at the views, they've gone down. Even expressions is the funniest fucker of like YouTube, like football YouTube. he got more fucking views on the watch along than what they did, and their channel's bigger, and is, you know, people that watch it are either really, really disabled or about 5. So obviously Don Robbie would love to get his, you know, hands and fists around 5-year-old. So AFTV used to get about, I don't know, a few years ago, 30 million views a month. Now they're getting about 10 million views a month because one of the co-owner at the time, he's left now, called Tao. I know this through watching and doing research. He was one of the co-owners of AFTV with Robbie, and then he left, and loads of other people leave because Robbie doesn't really treat everyone with respect, does he? He just pins them off whenever it doesn't go well, or because they say something, it's going to get Robbie in trouble because he won't get sponsorship deals and stuff like that, or brand deals with different famous companies. He has to kick him off the channel because it's not going to benefit him, is it? It will only benefit. He'll do what he has to do to benefit himself, not other people around him, not his best friends. So he left, and their views have skyrocketed, or plummeted down from 30 million views to 30 million views a month to 10 million. So this downfall was absolutely beautiful, and we will be there. The next of these cretins, obviously I've mentioned the United Stand, Mark Goldbridge. Everyone knows Mark Goldbridge. His real name is Brent. You know, the failed detective, failed copper. So where do I start with him? You know what? Let's start with how he gets. So you may be thinking how he gets these gigs and, you know, exclusives with Man United. I'm going to tell you why and how. So he's got a really, really good agent. His agent goes by the name of Ross Smith. You may be thinking, who the fuck's Ross Smith? I've never heard of this guy. So Ross Smith is the son. So Ross Smith's dad is John Smith. If you do your research, John Smith was the original super agent. He's the one that got Maradona the gig at Napoli. He's the one. He was Maradona's agent when he went to Napoli. He also is one of the most connected men in football. He owns the FIFA Best Awards, and he could literally call Roman Abramovich on the phone if he wanted to. You may be thinking, how does this, you know, tie in with Man United? John Smith has a corporate at Man United, which is... So John Smith gets Ross on the phone. He's like, "Oh yeah, Mark Goldbridge, da da da." Then he feeds back to Man United to get the exclusives. That's why he always does these, you know, transfer news and all exclusives, and, you know, get Fabrizio on his fucking podcast and all different kind of rubbish like that, which absolutely baffles me. These two main fan channels are declining massively because people are realizing that they're absolute frauds. They always say what they don't actually think. They just say what people want to hear just to get exclusives. Football fans nowadays are like sheep. They look following and going what's popular and what the narrative is, because they don't want to seem as controversial. It's not controversial having a different opinion, is it? This is what I don't get with football. It's absolutely baffling how fans are scared to actually say what's on their mind, because this is the same with people on Twitter. People on Twitter have like big platforms. They don't say what they actually think because they just... You know what? I'm going to go into detail now. So people like United Trey. United Trey has a massive Twitter account. He went to the Coventry semi-final at Wembley. Do you know how he got the tickets? Because he's only been to Old Trafford once since then. And as a football fan, to get to a semi-final, you have to build up, not caps, like loyalty points for games and stuff, home games or away games. He got given them tickets, right, by Man United. I'll give you another example. So Marcus Rashford did a ticket giveaway. So he was doing a puzzle and you had to guess what the puzzle was, and you'd get the tickets for Man United game at Old Trafford. He's only been there once. He went to the Coventry game. So this is kind of like his massive brown envelope. He's guessed it. I think he was doing the Disney Lion King puzzle. United Trade gets it right, but before he types, loads of other people also got it right. United Trade wins the giveaway and goes to the game. I've never seen anything more brown envelope-y in my life with all these big Twitter accounts. They just want to get exclusives with players and clubs that they support, and build and feed off their young, vulnerable, disabled, and extremely inbred fans on their Twitter platforms because they're mentally unstable and they probably have bad acne and need to get checked out and have a shower. I'm going to be going in on Twitter fans now. So most Twitter fans, right, latch themselves onto a footballer. They'll have a bang average football player AVI. I know, like Garnacho, like Mudryk, like Anthony. They all rep these shit fucking players, like Richarlison. They all rep these really shit bang average players, right? And they all feed off clips and highlights of these bang average players. Most of these football fans on Twitter have really bad acne, haven't had a shower, stink of fucking shit, don't wipe their ass after they've had a shit, you know, and don't get haircuts and probably don't go to school. They sit in there, you know, 4 meter by 4 meter, 4 foot by 4 foot fucking box room and drink Mountain Dew and Doritos tangy cheese and get, you know, cheese crusts and, you know, kebab grease all over their controller because they're absolute wrongins and they need to be locked up. Back in the day, I say back in the day like I'm a 60-year-old, these people used to be on special buses and special homes. Now they just gather themselves on Twitter to hype up and suck off a 17-year-old South American football player. I don't get it. And some of these big Twitter platforms call themselves or a wannabe journalist or aspiring journalist. So you may as well just call yourself an aspiring nonce. I'm not, because that's what they are now. You can't just copy and paste merchants. They'll get something off Fabrizio, one of probably the main, or David Ornstein, probably one of the main journalists for Transfer News. They'll just copy and paste what they said and put it into their Twitter account. They'll change their bio, right, to aspiring journalist, you know, email for inquiries, and they'll have a picture maybe of themselves if they're, you know, if they're all right looking, then they might have fun. But if they're fucking ugly, then they'll just have something else maybe, or they'll cover their face with a face nappy. Because most of these people believe what Matt Hancock and fucking what's his face Boris Johnson was saying back in 2020. They all believed him and wearing face nappies every fucking day. People still wear face nappies, by the way. Go in and see a therapist. Jesus fucking Christ. And people still take COVID tests. I don't retards. Anyway, enough of that. That's another video for another topic. Anyway, they'll latch themselves onto a club. Maybe they might have a club where they only do transfer news for them. But what you see now with the Twitter subscription premium, people are getting paid for tweets. I'll give you an example. So Fabrizio Romano, one of the most, you know, decorated, one of the most well-known football journalists around. So he'll do transfer news for a player, but every single player he'll do about 5 tweets, basically meaning the same thing but worded differently. It's smart because every time someone views the tweet, he gets loads of like the statistics. He gets loads of views, like millions and millions of views on the tweets and likes and retweets and quote tweets and shares or whatever. He'll get paid for every single one of them, even though it's literally the same thing but worded differently, just to farm the interactions, which is smart, which most people are doing now, which people have kind of latched onto and realizing, how do I get a gig into this? How do I smart? And then they'll flip it and then they'll do the exact same thing, which is baffling because all these, you know, inbred, mentally unstable Twitter accounts are just need to be stopped. Really, it's always the, you know, the weirdos that just latch themselves onto a footballer, like a bangerish footballer, and just have them as their profile picture. But they are the most ugly clapped motherfucker in the world. I mean, I'm not one to talk, but I show my face, you know. Some people on Twitter have tried to make YouTube accounts. It's flopped. Do you know why? Because it's not easy talking into a camera, is it? But it's easy just to type words onto a Twitter account, which you probably get no interactions from because you're a wrong one anyway. So here we are. Welcome to Big 2024, the year of the truth. So those, you know, inbred, you know, disabled, absolute unstably ugly. It's honestly, it's so bad for how the ones that now latch onto footballers are the most ugliest motherfuckers in the world. They got really bad acne, probably fat as well. Go to the gym. go to the gym. Okay, so let's get on with like the media and all kind of the media, Sky Sports, TNT Sports, Talk Sport, and I guess ex-players, current players, and just exposing them for their just absolute hypocrisy and absolute waffle. So let's give a few examples. So Alex Scott, right? Alex Scott, you know, was a ex-female footballer, played for Arsenal, and she was like very against the Qatar World Cup, as what most people were. I'll get onto that in a minute. The Qatar World Cup, she was against, obviously, because of the rules there, and I think maybe because of the workers dying as well, just falling off the stadium and that. But she posted a picture on Instagram of her on a beach in Dubai. If you're so against the World Cup being there and not going there, why are you on the beach chilling in Dubai? The rules apply and are the exact same. Why are you what? If you're so against it, you wouldn't go to Dubai. Same with people like Harry Kane. Okay, why was Harry Kane, right? Like saying, "Oh, I'm not going to wear the armband because I don't." Well, if you cared that much, you wouldn't fucking go to the World Cup, would you? If people cared this much, right, they'd boycott it. You know, the thing with hypocrisy in football, it's really big, because you've got fans, you know, that are wanting managers out, wanting the owners out. Glazers, for example, Man United fans, they'd you know, say Glazers out, it's that, the other. They'll try and set up protests. They've done it once and got a game cancelled. This is what they should do more often if they want the Glazers out or whatever. Same with the Cronkies at Arsenal. If they wanted their owners out, do something about it. Don't go to games. Don't go and buy the merchandise, because every time you want them out, you're paying. You're literally paying them still. So like, if you cared that much, just boycott it. I don't get it. It just makes no sense. You lot probably think it doesn't make any sense what I'm saying, but in my brain, if you want owners out, stop paying the money. And then the same fans are moaning that they aren't spending enough. It's your money that you're giving them for not spending, so it makes no sense. Just got big platforms like Mark Goldbridge on Twitter. He's got a big platform, right? He doesn't say what he actually thinks, I reckon. He's just saying it because all the exclusives he can get with Man United. He's got a big enough platform, right? So for this, for example, he was saying that football's dying, right? Saying, oh, the Premier League's dead. The Premier League's not the best league in the world. The Premier League isn't the best league. Like, Premier League's not the best league in the world. The best league in the world is the Spanish league. Technically, it's so much more better than what, because the teams in the cups, right? The lower, like the Atletico Madrid, the Espanyol of the league or whatever. I don't know I don't actually know every single team in the Spanish league, but they all go for it in the cups. They all go for it in the cups, right? In the Premier League, right? How many of the top 6 win the cups every year? Is the exact same teams. The last team that had the underdog story of the FA Cup was Wigan, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. Southampton had a decent run, but they didn't win it, so it was pointless. Teams then in these divisions, right? Like I think maybe the Bundesliga, lower positional teams have a go, and the Spanish lower positional teams have a go. The Premier League, they don't give a fuck about winning, because, like, for example, the Carabao Cup doesn't have much prize money winnings, because that's all like the teams will care about. For example, Southampton. I'm just using them as an example. Actually, no, Leicester won the FA Cup a few seasons ago against Chelsea. Yeah, Southampton as an example. Any Southampton fans watching this, don't cry. They won't see the Carabao Cup initiative to win because the prize money is not enough. You've just won the most richest game in football, right? You shouldn't be care about that money because it's not much. What you should do, right, is do what's required. I'm going to go into detail on what I'm talking about in a minute. and go for it in the cups, right? Go for it in the cups. The Carabao Cup is actually a cup you actually might be able to win because most teams field fucking their third teams for some reason. This is what I didn't get with with English football. It's not even the Premier League. I've seen Championship and League One teams fielding their youth team in FA Cup games. FA Cup is basically the oldest competition in the world. It's the best competition that you could win domestically. Obviously, you could, for domestic teams to win when they're all against each other. Why don't teams go for it? What the aim of elite sport is to win, not to farm youth players, not to fucking traffic South American players. Todd Bowley, you fucking American nonce. Why aren't these players why aren't these teams trying to win? The main of elite sport is to win. How do we compare what team is bigger? By trophies. Arsenal may have an argument that they're bigger than us because of league titles. Man United may have Arsenal may have an argument that they're bigger than us because of the trophies. Man United may have an argument because of Premier League. So Liverpool may have an argument because they have more Champions Leagues, but we might have an argument that we're bigger than Liverpool based on Premier Leagues. May have an argument on Arsenal based on because we've won Champions Leagues, we've won in Europe. So that's how we compare our teams, by trophies. These lower positional teams need to have a go at the cups. It really pisses me off why it's the same teams every year. There are reasons why Man City clean up every year because they do what's required. They're probably going to sign Kimmich and Bruno Guimaraes. Arsenal need a striker. Arsenal need a striker and a midfielder and a winger. They're signing another centre back for about, I don't know, how much is he, like 50, 60 million? I don't know how much they're signing this hipster for. What they should really sign is sign out Anderson from Palace because he's so good. Chelsea are literally human trafficking South Americans. Todd Bowley is on the register. I'm convinced. Why is he signing these random South fucking Americans, like these 14-year-olds, and just why aren't we signing the best players to win the fucking trophies? But they don't care about winning the trophies. This is what I don't get with modern football. They don't care about winning the trophies. They just care about that. The aim of elite sport is to win. The reason why, like I've just said, we compare teams is by trophies. This is why it confuses me when people like Sky Sports are hyping up the top 4 race. Why are you hyping up the top 4 race? Second, third, and fourth are basically the same thing, right? For example, we've had the exact same season as Aston Villa. We've had the exact same season as Arsenal. Man United have had a better season than us. Man United have had a better season than us in the last 2 years. Why? Because they've won a trophy. They won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. They've actually won something, which is what the aim is. For example, Aston Villa got into the Champions League. They may say they've had a better season than Chelsea because we're in Conference League. We've had the exact same season, but we got in the Champions League. You're not gonna win the Champions League, are you? So what's the point of being in it? I don't get it. Why are you just saying, that's right, top 4 is basically the aim? Why is everyone's aim top 4? Everyone's aim should be winning a trophy. For example, Enzo Mascara, whatever his name is, I'm going to give him this season, and I'm going to give him 2 seasons. This is what everyone should do with managers. 2 seasons. If they don't win a trophy in 2 seasons, they should be sacked. Because what are they achieving? Nothing. Absolute fuck all. Oh, well done. We finished 6th last season. Let's finish 5th this season. What an achievement. What an improvement. No, winning the improvement and improving is winning trophies. I don't get why these hipster, inbred, disabled football fans are what we're talking about. Anyway, back to what I was saying about Mark Goldbridge. He was saying how football is finished, la-di-da-di-da, Man City keep cleaning up. The reason why Man City is cleaning up is because you have a big enough platform. You had about 20,000 live concurrent viewers on one of your transfer newses. You have a big enough platform to say what you actually think. But you don't, because you want to get exclusives and you don't want to be disliked by randomers that you're never going to be ever. I don't get why people randomly want to be liked by strangers. It's really, really off key. It's like they are begging to get kidnapped or something like that. You have a big enough platform to say what you actually think, right? And actually get a change. Get your managers out. Get your players out, because you've got so much shit players, right? And your manager needs to be sacked. He's already signed a year, which you're probably going to be sucking him off for, just to get exclusives from Man United. You've got a big enough platform. Why don't you make a change? Why should you don't actually care? You just care about that. You just care about that. So you don't actually care about your... I mean, you're not a Nottingham Forest fan anyway, so like... If the rumours are true, which they probably are, you are a Nottingham Forest fan, you don't actually care about Man United. Because if you cared that much, you'd actually try and make a stand, you'd protest to get players out and get managers out and get hierarchy out. But you don't, because you want to say what people are going to like because of the money. This is why I don't get it with football fans. It's just baffling. It's not only him, it's everyone else. AFTV, it's the big top accounts, right? YouTubers like Lee Gunner, like Rants, like Sarcasm C, like Minerals FC, like Carefree Lewis, like Eunice Talks Football, like Northside, they like Saeed. They say it how it is because they don't give a fuck about getting exclusives with clubs and journalists. They just care for the passion of their club. They just care because they love their club and they want what's best. But no, they'll get called negative and toxic and fake fans. Fake fans. Some of them have probably spent 25 years watching the club, going to games, spending thousands of money, but because they have a different opinion to you, right? They've spent more money than you, but because they are classed as controversial and have a different opinion to you, right? And they want the best for the club, they're fake fans. They're known as negative and toxic. I don't get why football fans are like this. It's absolutely embarrassing. The media as well, they need to fucking sharpen up. Why are they hyping up top 4 races and Champions League? Ooh. The relegation battle. Teams like Luton, they'll get the parachute payment. They only care about the money for getting promoted. If I'm not mistaken, the reason why Sheffield United got Sheffield United got fucking 20th, got last place, right? They sold at the start of the season, they sold their best player to Burnley. Why are they selling their best player to Burnley? These relegation teams deserve to get relegated. Luton deserve to get relegated. Relegate them and never fucking promote ever again, because they do not do what's required. They do not do what's required. That's why they get relegated. Some of the Sheffield United didn't do what's required, because they done fuck win the cups and got last place in the league. These players, Nottingham Forest for example, they signed loads of players and they stayed up. See what happens when you do what's required? See what happens when you don't actually just take the parachute payment and don't do anything with it? Teams like that get promoted and do not, strengthen their team and do not do what's required in the transfer window deserve to get relegated and never get promoted ever again. Oh, but it's a fairy tale. Fucking football is football. Football is winning. The reason why we love our clubs, the reason why football makes us happy and have these enjoyable moments is by winning, not fairy tales. It's not fucking Disneyland. Jesus Christ. So that's the video for today, guys. Wow, I'm gonna lose my voice. If you did enjoy this video, like I said at the start, hit that big red subscribe button down below. Like this video if you did enjoy, because it means so much to me, because it shows how much of you actually did enjoy this video. Comment as well what you thought. You could put whether you agree with my opinions, disagree with opinions. That's the thing with opinions, they're not right or wrong. Well, if it's me, then they're right. So yeah, just comment with feedback, really. It's just words on the screen and I'll take it into consideration. But if you're not nasty about it, then fair enough. You're probably really mentally unstable, ugly, fat and probably got really bad acne and don't wash, and your dad's probably left and your mum's probably in a mental asylum and you're probably an orphan or whatever. I don't really know. Anyway, so I will try not to upload every 6 months. But yeah, that's me. I'm out. Peace.